talking Premier League, ladies and gentlemen, more specifically Arsenal. And to do that, we have Robbie from ArsenalFanTV.
Good to be here.
Good to have you here, Robbie. Good to have you here. You're in the FA Cup final, Robbie.
That's great.
Good times, eh? Despite people sneering at you celebrating, going through to the final, it's great to be there, isn't it?
It's great. I think that sneering is ridiculous. Why can't we... It's the FA Cup final.
Yeah.
Everybody's always slagging off Arsenal, saying, you know, 9 years, you haven't done nothing yet. We're on the verge of getting there.
Yeah.
And we get slagged off for celebrating.
I don't know what they expect. What do they expect Arsenal players not to run to Fabianski and jump and, you know, you've got 40,000 people there and, you know, like he said, like Robbie said there, we ain't got to a final for how many years. It's fans are desperate for some form of success. And
the other thing is, I've never seen a penalty shootout in my life where it's been won and the players haven't run over to the keeper and celebrated. So it's just, I thought that was it Roy Keane? I thought it was a ridiculous comment from him.
He's fairly joyless, Roy.
Well, yeah.
FA Cup win and a full spot, you'd take that, but that would be the best scenario, wouldn't it?
Well, listen, if at the start of the season you offered that to any Arsenal fan, they would bite your hand off. They'd be more than happy with that. Listen, the only reason why it's even up for debate at the moment is because we were doing so well in the league.
Of course, yeah.
We were at the top for so long, it was looking good, and basically we've got smashed by all the teams above us, and it's sort of created a little bit of an anticlimax. But I'm sure that if we can achieve that 4th place, and at the end of the season we do win the FA Cup, all Arsenal fans will look on it as a good season.
It has to be.
Yeah, which would you say was more important then? An FA Cup win to break that 9-year trophyless spell, or getting into the Champions League? Clinton,
I say Champions League because Arsenal want to attract big players. Like, I know they ain't one night for like 9 or whatever 10 years, but they need to attract big players. All right, sorry. sorry.
Give it a couple of months and you could be right. You know,
but they need to attract big players, and they only attract massive players if they're in the Champions League.
But the thing with that for me is that Arsenal have been in it for 17 years. Yeah, coming on and that, and you know, yes, we got Ozil the other day, but other than that, who have they attracted since they've been in the Champions League like that? Really, since Thierry and everybody's left.
Yeah, but who have they gone for?
But this is what I'm saying. The problem I've always had is that the caliber of player that they're going for. We should be going in for the same players that City and Chelsea and United and now Liverpool will most probably be going in for. For me, I would take the FA Cup, and if they slipped out of the 5th place, I think that the pressure that will take off of the club and the players that are there now for him to build would help them. Because I think they're under a lot of pressure with the history of what's happened with the club and the players that they've got there. They're not good enough to alleviate that pressure. You've seen how we played against a couple of these teams. The pressure is getting to the boys, and that is why, even with the cup final, it's brilliant that it's the one-off game, and I do believe that they will beat Hull. But, you know what I mean, I'm not going to sit here and say, oh, it's definitely a foregone conclusion, because you can't do that.
The general consensus, I'd say, is that they want both.
Of course, They want... Absolutely. It's mathematically possible to still win the league.
Rob, none of them have said, you know what, if you've got to put that question to them.
It's funny enough, last night I did put that to a lot of fans, and the general consensus, to be honest, was FA Cup. Like Wright said, is the most... Just get a trophy and get the monkey off our back. But then I take Clinton's point as well, that if we don't have it, then you say we've had problems attracting players. If we're without the Champions League, and, you know, it's going to be even worse. And we are being told at the moment that there's lots of money to spend now, that it's definitely there. It's definitely 100-odd million there. So if we've got the Champions League and, you know, we've got that money, then we can maybe bring in a couple more players of the calibre of Ozil. Because I don't think Arsenal need much. I just think they need world-class players. They need a bit more power in that team and pace.
Definitely need pace.
Definitely need pace. We need a young youth.
I love it.